Hey, Father Taylor here today, and it's the sun is out, but it's brisk, and it's Thursday, January 9th, 2025, and here is your weekly eBlast. So, a lot of things to talk about real quick. So, coming up, just in chronological order, coming up on Saturday is Lunch in the Park. Now, many of you know all about Lunch in the Park. Maybe you've never been, maybe you've never made a lunch. Well, consider that. But this weekend, this is not the week that you're going to be going down to the park, is my guess, because it's going to be chilly, chilly. I've been down there sometimes where it's so cold that you to pick up the hosts, the little hosts. My hands are so numb that it's hard to pick them out to give them to people. But you know what? No matter what the weather is like, and even during COVID, people are still attending that. That's a faithful group. They come, and the core people who put that on, of which we kind of go down once a month, and they're there every week. They're there every time. They never miss. So you're not going down. Please pray, even right now while you're listening to this, so you don't forget. Pray for God's Spirit to be poured out in abundance on that meeting this Saturday at 2 o'clock down at Bushnell Park. I was telling some folks today on morning prayer, there are folks that drive. There are folks that live in the area but don't have transportation, but they walk or they take a, one guy rides a bike across two towns to get there. And there are a few people who elect to not stay in shelters because they're dangerous or for a variety of reasons. And so they're out year round. Some of them are well dressed, some of them are not. So, nevertheless, be praying for those people that would be attending that congregation, and be praying for the people that put it on, uh, folks from the cathedral, Nancy, Carlos, John, and Andrew, and be praying for me because we really want to go down and be able to to do real ministry, serve people down there Saturday. So that's coming up Saturday. Sunday, we have a lot going on. The 8 o'clock service, everything's as usual, but don't forget at both services, this is Scholarship Sunday. I only wish that we could have more personal interactions to see the impact of what a $300 a year gift does for people in Nigeria. It built the building which houses a school, of which there was no building before. It provides food, it provides running water. It's not just that people get to go to classes, it's the whole piece. Last week in our service, we heard something which you might have missed, but is pretty amazing. And that is, we got a thank you letter from a Muslim student who said, "Thank you for giving me the scholarship, even though we're of different religions." Well, Nigeria recently has been named the most dangerous place in the world for Christians. That's the most physical Christian persecution of any country in the world. And believe me, there's a lot of competition to hold that dubious honor. So Muslims kids and Christian kids worshiping together, or at least going to school together, that's an amazing thing, which can pay dividends for now and for the future. So your $300 gift, your $100 gift, anything you give towards scholarships for the AEP project that we're going to be doing this Sunday, that's really a big deal. It's really a big deal. So don't underestimate the power of this gift that you have to give. So that's going to be at both services. After the 8, going out into the lobby, and then also in and during the next service, not only do we have the Scholarship Sunday program, but we have a representative, I believe it's the program manager from the radio station IHS, WIHS, is going to be there at church. They're going to have information, maybe some little tchotchkes to give out. I'm hoping he can get up in a couple of minutes, tell us a little reason why we should pay more attention to this ministry. Think about that, being able to like randomly go through the dial when you're really in need and come across a Christian speaker, pastor, a teacher, some Christian music. It's a huge ministry. And IHS, I think, is the oldest. K-Love is the big popular one that's nationwide. IHS is a homegrown organization. And so we're happy that they're going to be there today. So that's also on Sunday. We are holding off Breakfast Alpha until February, but we are making an invitation to for two things. One, for people who are interested in actually living out, doing out, working together on what we saw in the book Experiencing God by Henry Blackaby. We are inviting you to come to a Wednesday night group on that. You'll hear more about that. But for people who are like, it was good, we liked hearing about the book on Sundays. We liked, kind of small groups. But on Wednesday nights, we're going to start getting together to look at the book, to pray about that, and then to be able to actually work out those projects, see what God's going to do. That, folks, is where it gets exciting. So I'm just calling your attention to that. The second thing that we are doing and that we can do during in a variety of ways is we're preparing for annual meeting. Okay, so one, what are the two most important things that happened for you connected to our church and our church's ministries in 2024? What are the two biggest things that happened since last year's annual meeting? It could be a worship service. It could be a ministry you were a part of. But think about that. So what was the biggest thing that you're thankful for? And secondly, what are the two questions you have to talk about at annual meeting? We're going to talk about budget, but what about the budget do you want to talk about? We really don't get into the minutia of like, well, why do you need this dollar amount for this program? All that's largely become perfunctory in our stripped down budget. But what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the mission? Do you want to talk about reaching people? Do you want to talk about ongoing ministry to us? Do you want to talk about the diocese? What do you want to talk about at the annual meeting? That's really important for us because that's a participatory event. Otherwise, you're going to get a couple of us like kind of making comments on our written reports. Not exactly exciting. So let's get a discussion going. Carolyn always puts together a great retrospective in pictures, so we're looking forward to that. But annual meeting coming up, I believe it's the last Sunday. I forget how that Sunday falls, but I believe it's the 26th in there. So that's coming up on annual meeting. Okay, so write down your questions, send them to me, send them to the office, figure out how you want to do it, and then also come prepared for a stewardship or the scholarship Sunday this weekend with AEP. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you this weekend.